Yes, people, what's going on? Hope you're well. Welcome back to the show. Hope you've had a good weekend. Hope you've had a good week, and look forward to this one. Myself and Lee Gunner are back today. We're going to be talking about all things Arsenal, and to be fair, probably touch on what's happened at the weekend because it's been a strange one as far as football is concerned. Everyone's dropped points, I think, apart from Man City, who are the ones that are laughing. So we're going to talk all things yesterday, all things Arsenal first of all. But Lee, how are you, mate?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Appreciate you having me on again. And yeah, man, I've seen all this fallout about referees. There's a conspiracy. The conspiracies are back. There's been no conspiracies for weeks, but now they're back again because we didn't win a game. I've seen some players that were hiding in the game yesterday. Sambi Lukonga being one of them. By the way, I found out today that boy is 23 years old.
Yeah, he is.
I thought he was a lot younger than that, the way our fans talk about him. But yeah, he's 23. Maybe he needs to go on loan. Martin Odegaard, another shambles performance from him, I thought. Subbed again. There's not many captains in the Premier League that get subbed every week, but he's definitely one of them. And Eddie Nketiah, what does he do? I thought the substitutions yesterday were a bit of a shambles, mate. I thought he took off two of our best players. Ben White was having a great game. Martinelli was having a great game. And he then brings on Kieran Tierney, who should have started anyway. We need to put that Tomiyasu experiment in the bin because it worked once, it ain't worked since. And start playing our left back at left back instead of a centre back playing at right back, who we've now played at left back. So he can't get a game at right back because there's another centre back playing at right back.
Wow. When you say it like that, wow.
This is Wenger-esque behaviour, and we've been getting away with it, Dan. But yesterday we got everything we deserved. I ain't one to sit and cry about referees. I very, very rarely mention a referee and cry about them because we've had decisions go for us this season. The Liverpool game could have been handball. Crystal Palace, the same player should have given the handball away. He handballed it. The same player again, funny enough, flew into Bruno Fernandes in the Man United game for Anthony's goal. Didn't get booked. On another day, that's a straight red card. Didn't even get booked because Man United scored. So I don't think our fans like to talk about them ones that we do get. But then when we don't get a penalty that maybe wasn't, I don't know, it was 50-50 for me. I think he made a meal of it. And as soon as we don't get that, it's a conspiracy, one of the worst refereeing performances in living history. Well, I watched Tottenham Newcastle after that. Emerson Royale, blatant handball. Newcastle never had it. I ain't seen a Newcastle fan crying about it. Maybe that's because they won the game.
Exactly that. That's the thing. They won the game, so they won't. And I think if we would have won the game, which let's be honest, we should have done because we missed chances, then we wouldn't be talking about the referee as being the reason we dropped points because we wouldn't have dropped points. So that's where I want to start. And I've just been on Matisse's show. Go check that out, by the way, on Matisse's channel. I didn't go complain about the referee. All I said was I thought he had a poor game. I didn't sit there and say he's the reason we dropped points. He's the reason that we are, no longer on this winning streak. All that stuff. Cry more, people, because we are to blame for not winning that game. I thought in certain parts of that game we were really, really poor. Can I just bring up a comment? I don't know what this guy thinks I've said, but I have never, ever said this. Dan, you also think that Welbeck's a better player than all-round player than Salah. What?
I admit that I said that, mate, not Dan. I'm called Lee. Yeah, we don't even need to go there about Mohamed Salah, mate. This is not about Liverpool. Although, if you want me to rip Liverpool apart, I can spend an hour doing that.
Well, Salah's been terrible, by the way, this season.
Four completed passes in 95 minutes, mate. I think that's probably the wrong time to be mentioning Mohamed Salah, my friend.
Right, okay. I'm glad you've cleared up because I've realised I did never say that.
I've caused meltdowns, mate. Literally, all these scousers have gone nuts because I said on Terry's show last week, Danny Welbeck's got a better first touch and overall a better footballer than Salah. Caused meltdowns.
Oh, don't do that, mate. The scousers will have you.
I've been everywhere, mate, but it's an opinion. A little bit like Scousers thinking they ain't English. It's an opinion. Same stuff, innit? They think they're Scouse, not English. I think Danny Welbeck's better than Salah. Is what it is, isn't it?
Mate, that's such a mad take, bro. I love you, but that is a mad take. No, Danny Welbeck's better than Salah.
Lee Sharp was a better player than Salah. Lee Sharp. The only reason Salah gets any kind of credibility is because of the volume of goals he's scored. Take his goals away, which most of them are on transition. It's not like he's dribbling past 7 players every week. The guy does fuck all. He's limited. Very limited footballer. Yeah, Danny Welbeck's not great. He's got no composure in front of goal. He can't finish his dinner. Yeah, but he's got a better first touch than Salah. He's got better work rate than Salah. Yeah, he's got better physicality than Salah. He's got better link play than Salah. He's got more attributes that are better than Salah, and Salah's got better than him. The only difference is he bags 30 goals and he bags 6. That's it. He's
Man,
not that
that's
good,
a mad
mate.
take, bro. It's a mad take. I love Salah, man. I love Salah.
Yeah,
I
but
like
I've
him, man. I
literally
rate
rattled
him.
the whole of the Liverpool fan base off of
Seems
that, mate. That
seems
was
that
in
you have,
every
man.
newspaper online. It was everywhere, man. Literally, I was going viral everywhere because of that. I was in the Daily Star, the Daily Mirror. I was on Sport Bible or Lad Bible, one of them. Yeah, all over Instagram pages. Like, mate, it was mad. But this is the thing, like, people, like, the week before I said that Mbappe had flopped in the Premier League on Terry's show, and he was going mad, and then everyone was going mad. I did the show with Rance the same day, yeah, and Terry's chat was lighting up with people going, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Mbappe's quality, mate." I then said the exact same thing on my show an hour later, and the whole chat was with me. Yep, totally agrees. Bang average, it's overrated. It flop in the Premier League. Blah 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 blah. So different audiences, different opinions, isn't it?
Yes, and it's all about opinions, football, and that's why I love it. Some of them are absolutely mad. Let's talk a little bit about Arsenal, though, yesterday, man, because I want to get your take on the performance. Because for me, Lee, the first 10, 15, I thought we looked quality. And then it all went wrong when the referee decided not to give that penalty. It seemed that everybody, including fans, players, just went, ugh, drop, performance drop. Nobody seemed to care anymore. It looked like it was really difficult for us. We were missing chances. We were flopping. Odegaard in the first half doesn't even hit the target when he's got all the time in the world to put it in. Jesus goes through from, to be fair passes from Odegaard. Jesus flops. He misses. Martinelli was driving. Ben White playing well. The manager decides to take both of them off. No idea why. The substitutes for me were absolute shambles, and we'll talk about that because that was poor for me from Arteta yesterday. And I feel like I haven't really criticised Arteta because I feel unfair as an Arsenal fan, and I'll say credit where credit's due. But yesterday, the manager deserves a lot of criticism because those subs were a shambles, mate, and it killed the game off. Our left-hand side was dead. Bringing Eddie on is a pointless sub, in my opinion, anyway. Bringing him on the left is shocking. When Jesus and Odegaard weren't having the best games, by the way, and you've got Vieira and Eddie there, I thought those two were the ones he's going to take off, and he took off Martinelli and Ben White. Kieran Tierney, I'm with you. I got slated, bruv, slated for calling out Tommy Asu playing left back, thinking, what's that for? Oh, Dan Potts don't know he's better than the manager. Dan Potts don't know what he's talking about. Dan Potts thinks Tommy Asu can't play left back when he's put Salah in his pocket. I've seen Salah in many, many people's pockets this season, bro. He was in the Nottingham Forest left back pocket. So why are we talking about Tommy Asu now all of a sudden being because he's playing Tierney. He's playing Tierney on Thursday nights. He's easing him in. Tommy Asu's been injured more than Tierney. So why is he now playing on the left back side? I don't get this, bro. Tierney come out and said in an interview, right? The reason I've been dropped, the manager's told me, it was tactical. What? So it was tactical against Leeds and Southampton as well. He's now the third choice left back over a right back that can't get in because Ben White's playing well. I don't get this. It's okay for for Tierney to fight for his place, but it's not okay for Tommy Asu to fight for your place. We'll just put you in at left back, mate. It makes no sense to me at the moment. And when he came on, Tierney, I was just smiling.
Yeah,
I'm smiling because I'm thinking, you were so good, my guy. And he's my favourite player, right? So everyone thinks I've got, we'll go and sack him off and all that crap. He's my favourite player. And that's why I'll big up for him because he's been superb. And every time now it's like, we might as well sell him, Lee. Might as well sell him. We've got Tommy Asu as backup and Zinchenko. Zinchenko's injured, by the way, and he can't play more than 2 games. We've signed this bloke in to be cover for Tierney or play in front of him, and he can't stay fit either. So it makes me laugh the way that I get so much abuse for this. And on AFTV, people were in the comments all laughing. Tommy Asu's playing again. Dan Potts going to have a meltdown. What are they laughing about? What's so funny? Tierney would come on and was better. So what way is it, man? Where do you see this one, man?
Yeah, but Dan, most of these people that are sitting there chatting rubbish to you, mate, have never seen Arsenal winning anything other than an FA Cup. Yeah, Kieran Tierney's got more trophies in his trophy room probably in his mansion somewhere in London than any of our players. He is the most decorated footballer at our football club. Oh, but it's the Scottish League. Well, you still got to win it, ain't you? Still got to do a treble, a domestic treble. He done 2 or 3 in a row, didn't he? Like, it's the thing. I don't get it, Dan, right? And the thing is,
it's disrespectful, man. It's disrespectful for me. I love Tierney.
Our fans were sitting there saying, "Get rid of him, sell him. He's always injured. He's always injured." So I did the maths. I looked how many Premier League games Thomas Partey had played since Thomas Partey had signed for us, and how many Tierney had played. They were pretty much there or thereabouts the same. I think Tierney had played 1 more game than Partey. Yeah, because Partey was out injured more than Tierney. That was before the start of this season, right? So Partey's played less games since Partey's arrived than Kieran Tierney. But let's get rid of Tierney because he's always injured. Okay, well, Partey is then. So should we get rid of him as well? Tomiyasu was out for 4 months, 5 months with a calf injury. What are his calves made of? Sand. Like, real talk. Are they made of sand? Now, we've got Zinchenko out, who, by the way, if you remember rightly, all these little puppet journalists, that sit there, yes, Mikel, no, Mikel, 3 bags full, Mikel, was telling the world that he was only going to miss the international break. And one of them games, he was suspended anyway. That's why they never picked him for Ukraine. They said, you have the time off, right? That was about 6 weeks ago, Dan. So if he was only supposed to miss 1 week or 2 weeks international break, how comes he ain't back yet then? Then the manager in the press conference for Southampton says, oh, he had a setback to the injury that he had earlier in the season. Well, maybe you shouldn't have rushed him back then, mate, because you're desperate to play him instead of Tierney, who was fit at the time. Like, it makes no sense. Kieran Tierney's played some good games for us this season. The very next game dropped. Yeah, Tomiyasu played well against Salah, but who hasn't played well against Salah? Maybe Cancelo. That's probably about it. And even that was only one cock-up, which ultimately lost him the game. But every time I've watched Salah this season, somebody has pocketed him. Yeah, he's been useless. So let's not hype up this Tomiyasu guy, because he ain't that great. He ain't. Yeah, and people go, oh, but yeah, he's very steady. He wins headers. Well, I'd expect him to win headers. He's 6'3". Yeah, and the funny thing is, the manager in his press conference for Southampton said we've got 3 left backs, and he included Tomiyasu as a left back. He said that in his press conference. I was like, since when are we classing him as a left back? They said, I've got Zinchenko, I've got Kieran Tierney, and I've got Tomiyasu, and we can use all 3 of them over the course of a season for different games. I was like, is this guy mad? Like, this Tomiyasu guy's played 96 games as a centre back and 69 games as a right back. So he ain't a right back then, is he? He's a centre back.
No, he's a left back.
He played centre back for Bologna. Yeah, now he's playing left back.
Like, it is mad. It is mad. Like, it is mad for me. And
over a left back that's won more trophies than anyone at our club playing left back.
Listen, like, the only thing I agree with everything you've said. The only thing I disagree is go on, bro. No worries. I actually like Tomiyasu, right? I actually like him. I think he's a really good player. I think he's solid. I think he's got discipline, and I think he's got great positioning. I really like the fact that he's an aerial threat, and I agree with you. Of course, his height helps with that. But he should not be playing over Kieran Tierney just because he pocketed Mo Salah 1 game. Because for me, it's a disrespect to Kieran Tierney and the fans that are coming out now saying that Tierney should be sold because Tomiyasu is a better left back and that Zinchenko comes back and we've got the left backs we need to sell Kieran Tierney. I think is a massive disrespect to a player that epitomises everything I want to see in an Arsenal shirt in terms of his mentality, in terms of his attitude, in terms of his professionalism, in terms of the fact that when he comes out in an interview, he doesn't cry and say, oh, I'm now second choice and I've got to fight. I'll fight for my place. The manager's come out and told me it's tactical. I understand it for this game. Now he must be thinking, my third choice left back here because Tomiyasu's a right back. He's ahead of me. Zinchenko's it. Tomiyasu's knocking on the door going, am I going to play right back? Now Ben White's ahead of you. Oh, right. Okay. Although actually, yeah, he's a bit out of order, isn't it? Tell you what, you go at left back, mate. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Now, I understand that Ben White is playing on the right at the moment because we can't break the Saliba-Gabriel partnership up like people are saying. But the left back thing, you can't sit there and tell me that Tomiyasu should be deserved of a left-back position ahead of Kieran Tierney. Now, don't get me wrongly, if Zinchenko and Tierney are both out, fair play. If that's what you have to do, that's fine by me, because he's played there before when we had no left-back against Son, when we got battered at 3-0 at the White Hart Lane, right? But when you look at it, at the moment, we have Kieran Tierney fit. He plays brilliantly midweek, and I know it's against weaker opposition, and he's not playing. When he came on at the weekend, I thought he was brilliant. And this is what frustrates me, because it's not even the fact at the moment, mate, that we're not playing well because Tomiyasu's playing and Tierney ain't. It's just, for me, very confusing to see that happening. And then for me, the substitutions yesterday, I'm sorry, bruv. I don't know.
Drop points in this season. Man United, he cocks up with the subs. And this game, Southampton, he cocks up with the subs.
Yeah, that is true.
Both games, Dan. Yeah, I watched a clip that somebody sent me of Robbie and James the other day on AFTV. They were talking about Gabriel Magalhaes, and they were saying that Robbie led him down a path to make out that our worst game, our worst performance was Bodo Glimt, and that was our worst performance, but we still won it, and he weren't that bad. Our worst performance was Man United. We got spanked 3-1, and he played in that game. So people just love to chat rubbish. People just love to chat about certain players having great games when they haven't. the fact and reality is, for me, Dan, yeah, in my head, the way I see it, that centre-back is not a great centre-back. He's all right, Gabriel. He's all right. He ain't great. Somebody put stats out the other day saying, oh, statistically, he's better than William Saliba. Yeah, well, statistically, Mustafi was better than Van Dijk a few seasons ago. So what's the point? Stats don't win a game, mate. Yeah, that centre-back is going to cost us time and time again. I could reel out 5 times this season he's already cost us or very nearly cost us. Yeah, Crystal Palace should have been handballed twice. Yeah, Saliba saved his ass. Then against Leicester, James Madison's goal, he was ball watching. By the time he got over, it was in the back of the net. Against Tottenham, he gave the foul away that led to the penalty. It was the penalty that he gave away. Oh, no, but that was Xhaka's bad pass. Well, Xhaka didn't have a control pad and tell him to 2-foot the geezer, did he? He could have just left it and Oak Ramsdale saved it. So let's not be dumb here, right? Then the Liverpool game could have been handball on another day that's given. Yeah, I know it's slightly brushed off his chest, but on another day that's given. Yeah, then against Leeds United, the Bamford incident. Well, we've seen Beckham get sent off for that. We've seen Vieira get sent off at Old Trafford for flicking a leg out of Van Nistelrooy. Didn't touch him. Sent off for it though, wasn't he? Yeah. So these things could potentially we're not getting them go against us at the moment. But when the season gets longer and further into the season, at some point that is going to cost us, and that will be a reason why we don't win a title or why we don't get top 4. Playing Tomiyasu at left back is another reason. And funny enough, they're both on that side. If you go and have a look at Southampton's goal yesterday, Tomiyasu, what are you doing? He is trying to show the geezer down the outside. For me, I think that's dumb. His whole body position was stupid. Yeah, because he's not naturally a left back. Yeah, you showed the guy inside where there's 6 players all inside of our players, and he's going to run into traffic. But then the idiot Gabriel doesn't follow the runner because he's ball watching again, because that's all he does. And then bang, goal. If you go back to last season, the amount of times Gabriel cost us was insane. Absolutely insane, Dan. Theo Walcott spun him and scored because he was trying to sheep him on the halfway line. Rashford and Greenwood ripped him. Yeah, he should have been sent off. If in fact,
a Man City at home, Gabriel got sent off, didn't he? In
the Man United game this season, Anthony's goal. Go and have a look who 2-footed Bruno Fernandes in the centre near the centre circle. Yeah, that was our left-sided centre back running across the pitch out of position to Saliba's side, and then 10 yards in front and 2-footed. At some point, that guy is going to cost us. So at that point, you have to say, right, let me play my best left back next to him. You don't play a centre-back who is a centre-back. He's not a right-back, Dan. He's a centre-back. He played for Bologna at centre-back. Most of his games in his career have been at centre-back. But now we've played him at right-back. But because Ben White's doing really well this season, he can't get in at centre-back because of Saliba. He can't get in at right-back because of Ben White. So now what we're going to do is our weakest centre-back, we're now going to put another centre-back who's never played left-back, really, next to him. That side's going to get targeted every week. Yeah, and at some point, it will fuck us. It will. And then if you go into the midfield, again in that game yesterday, I've seen a number 10 failing to shoot on his favoured foot. And I get told this guy's technically sound. Like, what was that shot? My daughter has a harder shot than him, Dan. Yeah, every shot Odegaard has and has had this season pretty much.
I agree with that, I'm afraid.
Roller into the goalkeeper. Slap it, mate. Granit Xhaka showed him how to slap a ball. And that was on
the one he did score was Tierney, unfortunately put out of play. But I agree with you there. Like, I get a lot of people hate me on this. A lot of people hate me in comments, on Twitter, on social media. You're harsh on Odegaard. I only demand the best, mate. And when I look at Odegaard, I see a game where he's the best, and then 4 or 5 where he disappears. And I don't like that, Lee. I'm sorry, I don't like that in my players. I need to see consistency, and I'll call players out if they aren't consistent. And I don't see consistency from him. Now, yesterday, he played some nice passes through, and our players missed it. Fair play. Absolutely fine by me, right? But it's not on Odegaard's fault. When I look at him, and this is not me being harsh, and I promise you, I actually quite like the player, but I know it doesn't sound like I do sometimes, but I've got to ask this question. I'm not even going back to the Highbury days of the Paul Mersons and the Dennis Bergkamps, right? Let me just stick into the Emirates era as a number 10 right now. We've got Vieira and Odegaard that people are getting very, very excited about. Now, Vieira, to me, early days, but don't look
He got sent
exciting.
back to Portugal as soon as he came on. Did you see him? He went flying. He got bodied back
okay.
to Portugal.
Listen, Lee, it's early days. I get it. We're 11 games in. I'm worried about the early signs due to some of the things I see from this player off the ball. He looks really poor, lightweight, doesn't look set for this league, doesn't look fit for this league. I love his touches. I think he's got a nice pass on him, and I think he's got some vision. But he's going to need to seriously settle into this league if he wants to stay in it, and it's not looking good, right? But with Odegaard, I see some lovely things. Like you said, technically, people say he's great. I actually quite like him technically, right? But I look at the players we've had in the Emirates era, Thomas Rosicky, Nasri, Arshavin, Fabregas, Cazorla, Hleb. They're light years ahead, in my opinion, from what I can see so far. So this is why I question him. Now, some Arsenal fans, fair enough, they're young, they don't go back that far, perhaps. Some Arsenal fans don't go back to the hybrid days. I get it. I'm not slating people because of their younger age, but I do. I've gone back and I've seen some fantastic players in this position. And at the moment, I'm questioning, dare I, what a crime. I question Odegaard at games. It's not him as a player, not him as a Arsenal player. When I question him in games, out of order, get out of the club. You're not a proper fan. You're obsessed with James Madison. That's all I get. You're obsessed with James Madison, a player that scored again at the weekend, right?
Yeah.
I don't get this. I'm not allowed to compare him to James Madison. Why? I wanted this guy,
because
right?
they fancy Odegaard, mate. That's all it is. That's the only reason. Arsenal fans have had this weird obsession since Ozil came to the club of absolutely protecting the number 10 at all costs. Doesn't matter how poor he is, Dan. Yeah, he's our number 10. Yeah, because they were never alive, and if they were alive, they should know better to have witnessed Bergkamp. Anyone who's been alive and witnessed Bergkamp, how can you rate this geezer, man? How can you rate him? I don't understand it one bit. If he wasn't alive to witness Bergkamp, yeah, then I kind of understand a little bit. Yeah, but go back and watch players that we've had. This guy's not on the same planet. As for James Madison, yeah, people go, oh, but he hasn't got the passes. Yeah, he don't look great on the ball with his nice touches and his nice hair and all of that and his nice teeth. Yeah, who cares? I couldn't care less whether he's ugly or not, whether he's good looking or not. Can you play ball? Yes or no? Can you consistently score goals that win my team games? Yes or no? James Madison, that guy's doing it in a team that is crap. Let's be real. They're crap. Dan, he's got 5 goals, 2 assists this season. Yeah, 5 goals, 2 assists. Right? What's Odegaard got? 3 goals, 2 assists. Yeah, and he's played 2 games more than Madison. Yeah, 2 of his 3 goals came in 1 game against a team that are going to get relegated. Bournemouth. Yeah, but then you go to big chances created. That's all I keep hearing. But he's the chance creator. Really? Big chances created. I don't care about chances because if I pass you the ball on halfway and you shoot, that's a chance created. Yeah, what's the quality of the chance? So let's go big chances created. Danny Welbeck's got more big chances created than him this season. Plays for Brighton. Harvey Elliott's got more than him this season. Plays for Liverpool and has hardly played this season. Gabriel Martinelli's got more big chances than Odegaard this season. Jack Harrison at Leeds has. Yeah, Leon Bailey has. Ivan Toney has. Pascal Gross is second in the league on big creative chances. Where's this creative spark, Dan? Southampton, Ward-Prowse has got more than him. Kieran Trippier has got more than him. Marcus Rashford and Mbeumo, Yuri Tillemans. They're all above Martin Odegaard, this creative spark playing in the team. Solly March. Let me see. Gabriel Jesus, where is this guy? I can't even see him. I'm on page 2. Ben White has got 3 big creative chances. Is he below Ben White? Or have I missed him? Alex Iwobi's above him. Have I missed him? Have I missed this guy? Maybe I have.
He's just not on there.
Maybe he's not.
But honestly,
I think he's on 3, Dan, yeah?
The thing is, Lee, I don't even want this to be let's slag off Martin Odegaard because I actually don't mind him, but I just get frustrated when people get on other Arsenal fans' back for their questioning a performance or a run of form or whatever it be. It's like it's an offence and it's a crime. It's like, how dare you do that? I like Martin Odegaard. I think he's a good footballer, but I'm going to question him when I believe that he's not performing at the highest of his level. And I don't think he is at the moment. I thought he had a good start and he was finally scoring goals. And I thought, you know what? Fair play to you. And then I've seen nothing since. So I need to ask that question. Is Martin Odegaard?
The question's a fair question, Dan. And the problem Arsenal fans have, right, is when you're winning games, just you stop slagging off the players. No, we're highlighting that actually this player's played pretty poorly for God knows how long now. 4 or 5 games. Gabriel Jesus' form's dipped massively in the last 4 or 5 games. The centre back that we've got, Oh no, you have to back him. Lay off him. Lay off him. Now he's got a new contract. Support him. Why? Why can't I demand better? He's letting sloppy errors into his game. This player's disappeared for 4, 5, 6 games in a row. Why can't I call that out? But Arsenal fans live in this bubble that when it's all going great, you're not allowed to say anything bad at all. But then when the shit hits the fan and we finish 5th, for example, like last season, well, nobody expected us top 4 anyway. So it's almost just like they're deluding themselves. They're just brushing everything under the carpet, where we're sitting there and saying, well, actually, if we had a James Madison at our football club, he would go and score more goals, which means we'd be better. Yeah, he might not have the nice little pretty passes. Who cares? Goals win football matches. Yeah, we could have done with Madison at the weekend. You know, and this is the thing. We could have done with a striker at the weekend, a plan B striker, a Giroud, a Mitrovic, a Tony, somebody of that ilk that's a bit taller, that is not a fucking dwarf when we're whipping balls in. We ain't got anyone that can score a bullet header. What are we going to do when we're drawing 1-1 against Southampton? Oh, I know. Let's throw Eddie on and play him left wing. Yeah, we keep Jesus up front.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
A little bit. Right? And then what we do is we'll have Saka who's tiny, Eddie who's tiny, Odegaard who's tiny, Martinelli who's tiny, Jesus who's tiny. And what we do is we'll ask Tierney to whip a load of balls in. Make it make sense, Dan. We needed a striker in the summer, but unfortunately we blew our load on Eddie Nketiah. Yeah, and gave him £100,000 a week. That is going to come back to bite us in about 18 months, mate. Everyone's going to let him have a pass because he's only coming on for 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Yeah, but in a year's time, 18 months' time maybe, everyone's going to be like, yeah, get rid of him. Ain't good enough. Because at the moment, I think we're, 6 or 7 points, 7 points ahead of 5th. And the team that are 5th are Chelsea, and we played them at the Bridge in a couple of weeks. All of a sudden, we're sat top. We could be 5th in 3-4 games. And that is how tight it is.
It is tight, man. It is tight. Can I just bring up something? Because this is what I don't get.
And all I keep hearing is we're top of the league. I couldn't give a shit if we're top of the league. Come back to me on the last game of the season if we're top of the league. I've seen Arsenal top at Christmas. Yeah, and they've bottled it. I've seen Arsenal top in February and bottled it. I've seen Arsenal come second to Leicester. Yeah, and why? Because we didn't do what was required then. We only signed Petr Cech. 2008, when Eduardo broke his leg, we didn't buy anyone. Yeah, 2013-14, we should have won the league, and we bottled it after 24 games and fell apart. So why not now? Yeah, instead of everything being rosy, and it is cool, we're top of the table. And if we lose 2 games,
it's positive at the moment. I get it, but you're right. It's tight, man. It is tight. And you know, someone just there said, "Oh, but Madison would have cost 100 million." Would Odegaard cost 100 million? Because no, even if let's just say he is, then let's say he's going to cost 100 million. If that's true, if this is what the guy's saying, it's true. Is Odegaard 100 million? Because I tell you, he isn't. So who's the better player then? Do you know what I mean? So I look at it and I just don't get it, man.
This is my point, though, right? There's so many people that watch me, whether it's on your channel, Terry's channel, my channel, wherever it is, yeah? They go, why are you moaning? You're top of the league. Okay, so what happens if we lose 2 games and we sit 5th then? What are you saying then? You'll be saying, oh, well, we ain't scored enough goals and Odegaard's ghosted here and, oh, that centre-back this. Yeah, and this happened and that. Well, these are all the things I'm saying now whilst we are winning. All these protests that have been planned that everyone's bottled it at, yeah, and started going in the ground taking selfies, oh, back at my second home and that. Yeah, now is the time, Dan, for this fan base to use their social medias and sit there and demand signings in January. Because if we go and sign 3 players in January of a level like Madison, like Ivan Toney, like Salcedo down at Brighton, who was superb against City, by the way.
Yeah, good player.
140 million quid, 150 million quid we do in January. Right? Oh, but it's a hard market. Well, it is if you don't bid for anyone. Yeah, and you're telling me we can't bully Leicester, Brighton and Brentford when we can offer a potential title charge, definitely European football, yeah, and you're playing with better players. You're telling me we're not that big that we can do that, no? Well, there you go then.
Listen, I hear what you're saying. And actually, I'm not losing my head yet. And I know it's been a bit of a stream where we are moaning, but we will moan because we didn't take 3 points yesterday. And we in my opinion,
I thought it's demanding. Actually, we could win a title if we do what's required this season.
I'm with you.
And January will be whether we've got ambition or not. We know the owner ain't.
100%.
So now the fans have to. Yes, and now the fans
100%.
have to. But when all the fans are sitting there in the comments and everywhere else going, oh, we're top of the league. We're top of the league. What are you moaning for? Okay, when it all capitulates and Thomas Partey ends up injured again and Jesus don't score for another 6 games, yeah, or Saka stops scoring or gets injured or Saliba gets injured, God hope our goalkeeper don't get injured because that Tina Turner ain't the guy. Now, as soon as we get 1 or 2 injuries, which we will, then what do we do? Oh, but it don't matter. Nobody expected us to win the league. Last season, our fan base was sat there saying we can catch Chelsea in third. When we finished fifth, they all sat there making excuses. Oh, we weren't supposed to finish top four. But you lot said we were going to finish third. Make your minds up. That's the same this season, Dan. We've got a chance to win the title, even with a manager I don't particularly rate, with players, some of the players I don't rate. Go and do what's required and sign 3 or 4 players in January. Newcastle have already said they're going to sign players. So how are they going to be able to get players? How comes we can't and we're a bigger club? Yeah, the fans need to stick it on the club now and demand right now. Because there is a journey and a destination to get to, and it's a process. The process has no end date, Dan. Nobody can tell me when we're going to win a title. If I say, when do you expect us to win a title? Oh, well, not this season. Well, why? Because you're all sitting there saying we're top. So why can't we be top in May? Because they don't want to be top, because they don't believe the crap they say are for these people, Dan, yeah? And the fact is, when we are top, and we have been playing great, and we have played the best football this season, and we have had some great performances from players this season. Ben White's been brilliant. Granit Xhaka's been our best player all season. Jesus has been superb at the start, faded a little bit. Yeah, we've had some, and Saliba, we've had some great performers this season. Now is the time that our fan base needs to say, actually, give us a title. We can do it this season. Look at some of the results, Dan. Yeah, some of the results. Nottingham Forest beating Liverpool. Come on. Who expected that? Even though Liverpool been trashed this season, who expected that? But this fan base is so content with, well, we weren't expected to win it. So if we get top 4, that's progress. You can't go from 5th to 1st. But Chelsea can do 10th to 1st. Leicester can do 15th to 1st. But we can't expect 5th to 1st. That's why I'm sitting here. And people go, well, you're moaning. Yeah, I am moaning because I know this fan base are going to let us down and we ain't going to win a title this season. Because the owner ain't going to go and do the money unless you tell him to. Yeah, because he's happy because he knows you're happy.
Right, you're preaching to the choir in terms of the ownership, man.
I've waited long enough for a title. I want a title this season.
Yeah, man. I've waited 18 years and I was there last time. And if you would have told me it was going to be 18 years when I watched at Highbury, I would have gone, you're buzzing. But it has been. Let me get through a couple of these questions, man. 2 of them are actually looking quite similar. Then I'm going to come to Chaitanya's super chat to end, man. Southern Gooner says, Dan, I know Brother Lee's thoughts on this, but what are your thoughts on the squad being way for Finn? And do you see this regime moving for anyone in January? I'm going to complement that with this from Luke, who's also said, do you guys think we can cope for the rest of the season playing Europa League? Because top Gooners are saying that we've been poor because of the Europa League, but then say it's because we're young. I totally get what both of you are saying, and I do think we're way for Finn. And I've said this before, Lee, to a lot of people, that Arsenal, if they're serious about this, it's exactly echo what you've just said. Go into January and go and buy 3 players, because I've been told, and I don't have an ITK, I don't have anybody in the know, but I do have a Newcastle fan that's told me that they're going to go all out to sign Tielemans, Madison and Zaha in January, not in the summer, January. So they'll show the ambition. And I tell you what, mate, don't start laughing at Newcastle too hard, because they are at the moment in a title race or a top 4 race as well, if we are, because they look serious at the moment. Very hard to beat.
In the league. Lost one
best
game
defense
as well.
In the league. Manager that is irate and can play attractive football and has done well elsewhere at clubs. I look at what they've got in their midfield and up top. Our strike force is Jesus and Eddie. Jesus is better than the Newcastle strikers. Do you know who the 3 strikers are at Newcastle, though? Chris Wood, Callum Wilson and Isak. And we've got Jesus and Eddie, mate. So let's not laugh too loudly at Newcastle, right? They're doing very, very well at the moment. And they're talking about, Newcastle go and spend. Yeah, of course they can. And they will do, by the way, because I've been told they're going to go. I'm not saying they're going to sign all 3 of them, but they're the 3 players they're looking at getting to add to this side. Can you imagine if Newcastle got those 3 added to what they've already got now? They'd be a serious, serious team, mate. So we need to do exactly the same. We need to go into January, Lee, and we need to go, right, we need somebody to cover for Thomas Partey because Lokonga ain't it. We need somebody to cover for Xhaka because we ain't got anybody if he gets injured. We need somebody across the front 3 that can help us out, because at the moment we've got no subs to bring on and Smith Rowe's out. And we also need a centre forward. And I don't care. I don't want to hear, we ain't got anyone. No one to buy. It's a hard market. We tried, but nothing happened. I don't want to hear all that crap, because if I do see that,
the other
mate,
one they've started
no
to peddle out is we're not just going to buy anybody. We're only going to buy players that make us better. That's the bullshit that they've dressed it up in the summer, wasn't it?
But we got Eddie Nketiah on the bench. So who's not better than him
can't
then?
Get a game in Europa League. Reece Nelson can't get a game in Europa League. Why are they here then? Why did you sign Marquinhos? Like, you can't even play him in Europa League.
That's a weird one, man, because I actually liked him when he come on, and again, he's now been bombed out. I don't get that one, man. But for me, bro, we need to be looking at that.
People will sit there and there's a lad in the chat that said, yeah, but City and Newcastle have got unlimited money. If you give Halifax money, they'll win the league title. Well, Stan Kroenke's about to pay 600 million quid off his NFL team. You're telling me he ain't got money? We're one of the richest football clubs on the planet. Yeah, we've spent a lot of money. I think only Manchester United have outspent us in the last 4 years in Europe. That's it. Only Man United have done more money than us in Europe in the last 4 years. So we can spend. So what's the excuse for us not going and getting Zaha then? Or going and getting Madison then? Or going and getting Tielemans then? Because all three of them have been linked to us multiple times over the last 3 years.
And two of them have got 6 months left on their contract as well.
Well, there you go then. There you go. And the fact is, Dan, yeah, this fan base are obsessed with fourth. That's it. Yeah, and the problem we have is it don't help when you've got 4 of your first team players in pre-season sitting there saying the aim is Europa League and fourth. How many of our fans say, well, the aim is the Europa League this season and fourth? How many of our fans have you heard say that? I've heard thousands of them. Why? Because Ramsdale, Odegaard, Smith Rowe and Granit Xhaka all said it on the pre-season tour, all in 4 different interviews. We're going for Europa League and top 4. Well, now the goalposts need to move because now we're sat top of the table. Top of the table after 11 games. We're playing great football. Yes, we ain't been great in the last couple of games, but we're still top. And the squad ain't good enough to win a title. We've got money. So instead of going in the summer and wait into the summer where it all collapses, when you've got Newcastle going to do money, you've got Man United playing good at the minute, you've got Chelsea under Potter now, yeah, you've got Man City are going to walk the title anyway, unless we do something. You know, there's a lot of teams there. We could go from first to sixth real quick. 2 losses back to back, bang, we're sixth. Yeah, and that is how tight it is now, right? So instead of waiting until and sitting on your hands until the summer, why don't you come and buy 3 players right now? Ivan Toney, Madison, Salcedo. You've got a Thomas Partey replacement. You've got a better sub than Eddie. Oh, but why would Toney leave Brentford to play out front, to sit on the bench? Okay, we'll give Saka a break here and there. Play Jesus on the right and put him up front then. Like, come on, we've got 60 games this season. Surely Toney wants to leave and play European football. He's never played European football. Yeah, come on. We're going to double his wages. He don't have to move house. And he's playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world. You're telling me we can't attract that player? Come on, man. Make it make sense, Dan. Right? And then when you get to the summer, yes, okay, we might not win the title if we sign all 3 of them. But when you get to the summer, now all you need is another centre-back. Yeah, that could be a backup or use Gabriel as the backup and get another main. You need a right-back that is a right-back because we're playing centre-backs at right-back. Yeah, and as well as Ben White's done, we still need a proper right-back at right-back as backup at least. And if Tierney ain't going to get many games, he'll probably want out. So you might need another left-back. But other than that, you're sweet in the summer, aren't you? You don't need to go and do a lot of money in the summer if you do it in January. And in January, you might then kick on and win a title. But instead, we're not going to win the title because this fan base won't allow these owners to go and spend because they're happy and content finishing 4th. Damn, we ain't winning Europa League. I can tell you that right now. We're not winning it, mate. Have you seen the teams that are going to drop down?
Like, listen, I said we were gonna win the Europa League, so I've got to stick with that now because I feel like there's nothing that, you know.
Could you imagine Lewandowski up against this team, Dan?
I don't want him, mate.
Will be fit for AC Milan come February. The Zlatan up against Gabriel.
Well, listen, we don't know what's going to happen,
and it's been a great start. But unfortunately, this club lacks ambition because our fans lack ambition. So me and you want a title, and I will lay off of this manager if he gets me in a title race till the last 3-4 games.
Oh, 100. I don't think anyone can be against him. Yeah,
I'll hold my hands up and say, do you know what? Fair play to him. I'll zip it. But we ain't going to do it, mate. And Arteta is part of the management committee that makes the signings. He's part of that transfer committee, Dan. He should be knocking on their door saying, yo, you're paying 600 mil off your NFL team. Where's our money? Give us 150 mil. We can win a title. You're telling me they ain't going to back him? They backed him when he was on his knees and had no stock. Now his stock's up here, Dan. Surely they're going to give him 150 to go and do in January if he wants it.
Listen, it ain't all doom and gloom because we're top of the league. I get it. 11. To be honest with you, Lee, if you would have said to me, 11 games in, you're going to win 9, draw 1 to Southampton and lose to United, I wouldn't have lost my head. I would have gone, wow, all right, we'll take that. Bloody hell. So I get it. It's been improvement, 100%. Manager deserves credit. Players deserve credit. Player improvement. Ben White, Xhaka, Martinelli's massively improved. I love what Saliba's brought to Arsenal. I love what Jesus and Zinchenko brought to Arsenal. There's a lot of good things at the moment. We're better with Thomas Partey in the team. Saka has brought his form back to where it should be at the moment, in my opinion, and I think he's been really good over the last few games. So there's a lot of good things at the Arsenal, and I know me and you people say we moan, we're negative. All we're doing is pointing out the concerns we have. That's all we're doing, people. It's an opinion. If you
Exactly,
don't
Dan,
like it,
exactly.
don't watch us, right?
Mate,
That's
there's a
all
guy in
I'll
the
say.
chat that says, I understand that the standards should be high, but one bad game and all of a sudden almost everything's crap. Bruv, if you go and watch
Hang on
my
a minute.
channel, I've been saying this since the start of the season, mate. This ain't nothing new. I'm not rewriting history here, mate. I've been saying this every single week. Saying Odegaard's not been great. We need Madison. Eddie ain't great. We need Ivan Toney. Yeah, we need a party replacement for when he's injured. We need to go and get these players in January. Anyone in this chat that watches my chat, and there's a lot of them in here, yeah, they all know this because they watch me every week. My standards are here. We smashed a stadium down that we've been to, Dan, when we were up here, when we were top of the tree, to go and be top of the tree. Now we are top of the tree. Everyone's, oh, that's it. Job done, mate. 11 games, fucking calm down. Why are you all saying shit like this? Blah, blah, blah. No, it's 11 games. There's still 27 to go. If we finish 5th, I'm coming back to every single person that's been running their mouth to me for the first 11 games, because I want to hear what you want to say at the end of the season if we finished 5th. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I've not seen anybody really saying, yeah, let's go for a title. All I've seen is, well, we're doing all right at the minute. I'm doing all right at the minute, but the aim was top 4. How low are your standards, man? We're top of the table. Now let's go and win it.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's what I say, man. Like, listen, I never thought we'd be in a title race. And if we are in a title race come May, I'm going to hold my hands up and say, do you know what? I'm going to stop talking about this manager not improving, not learning from mistakes, because he is. He's proved to me that he can put us in a title race. And that's all I wanted Emery, Wenger, all of them to do, right? So I'm more than happy to do that. I'm also more than happy to hold my hands up and say that I am changing my opinions about some of the stuff the manager's doing. I'm not going to sit there when I'm top of the league and start going, oh, I want to be right, so I'm going to sit there and say crap still. All I'm going to say is be honest. Use the eye test. People that come and say to me, I told you this 12 months ago. Well, you were wrong, because 12 months ago we were whack. Yeah, we're not whack at the moment. We're playing well. We're top of the league. It's not about being right. It's not about proving wrong. It's about changing opinion. Yeah, change my opinion about Mikel Arteta. He's starting to. The first 11 games, I've been impressed. Yes, I was disappointed with what he did at Old Trafford. I was disappointed with his subs yesterday. But he hasn't been a shambles this season. Otherwise, he wouldn't be top of the league. So when people start crying, oh my God, these two, or Dan is this, or Lee's that. Actually, let's be honest. He's putting us in a position we want to be, but we want to be in it in May. I want to turn around in May and go, bloody hell, Gunnar, we're 3 points off City and it's like 2 games left. And I'll say, fair play to him, brilliant. And the only way, in my opinion, we're going to do that, mate, is by going in January and getting 3 players, not 1. We need 3 players, and in the positions you're talking about, I'm bang with you, mate.
Shambles, Dan. Our bench is championship level, real talk. Yeah. Cedric Suarez hasn't played hardly all season, right? But he can't get Europa League game. Marquinhos can't get Europa League game. Reece Nelson, who was supposed to be the pet project under this man, the next Raheem Sterling, they were crying. Yeah, well, he can't get a game anymore. If you're Marquinhos, you're probably sitting there thinking, "Wow, I can't even get a game in Europa League, mate. Why am I here?" Yeah, and this is how dumb our football club are at times, Dan. I guarantee we get rid of players in January. Guarantee it, mate. 100%. There'll be at least 2 players that leave this football club in January. Marquinhos is probably one of them. Reece Nelson will probably be the other. So then what? We're going to hope Smith Rowe comes back to full fitness. Like, come on. We need more, man. And this is the time to do it. Don't just sit there and go, oh, well, we're top of the league after 11 games. Who cares? Leicester were top of the league last season. And after 3 games later, they were 4th. Now look at them. Yeah. Let's be real. We've seen Arsenal top at Christmas. We've seen Arsenal top at February, Dan, and we've capitulated. We see Arsenal sat 4 points clear in 4th with 3 to go and finish 5th. Yeah, so let's not sit here chirping. But Dan, I see this every season. It's water off a duck's back to me. Yeah, I always lose the battles. I end up winning the wars at the end of the season. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, great, fantastic. I've praised the manager. I've praised the team. I've praised the players all season. But all season I've said, listen, it's only 9 games. It's only 10 games. It's only 11 games. Yeah, come back in May. Yeah, because people are going on like, oh, well, you need to shut your mouth because he's proved you wrong. Right. Well, he ain't won anything yet. What's he won? What's he won this season? Yeah, and then it's a project. It's a process. Not one person, Dan, and I will ask the chat, I will ask everyone who's going to watch it on playback, where is the end date for this process? When do we win a title? Nobody can tell me that. It's a never-ending process, Dan, that's going to go from a process to a youth project, that's going to spin to something else. Then when one of Project Youth finally leaves, because they ain't won nothing, he's a snake. And let's be real here, because I want to make this. I know you want to wrap up soon, yeah. But Bukayo Saka, one of these journalists, well, I say journalists in the loosest sense, puppets more like, sat in a press conference with Mikel Arteta in April. We're now currently on the 24th of October, so quite a few months back, yeah. And was talking about Bukayo Saka's contract. Oh, we're going to sit down in the summer and we're going to sort that out, Mikel said. Well, in a week today, daylight saving time, the clocks change and it's now winter. So what happens to the summer then, mate? Yeah, William Saliba is also into the last 18, 19 months of his contract. Well, we ain't signed him up yet. Gabriel Martinelli is apparently demanding 200 grand a week. We ain't signed him up yet. So throwing out Gabriel Magalhaes's deal the other day was a nice little sweetener to keep everyone on side. Yeah. And even in the comments on the website from Edu, I think it was Edu, it might have been Arteta. Oh, he's a very good young player. Young. He's 25 in 6 weeks. So are we now saying 25-year-olds are young project youth as well then? Because if that's the case, when everyone was getting on to me about Madison saying he's 2 years older than Odegaard, he's 25. Well, Gabriel Magalhaes is young. So is Madison then, right? Yeah, and these are things that need clearing up, Dan. Saka's not signed a contract yet. I do believe he will. Yeah, Martinelli, maybe. Saliba, I don't think signing. And if he does, he's still leaving anyway. Yeah, that guy's going to PSG or Madrid or somewhere. Yeah, but any South American footballer, in terms of Martinelli, they don't dream of playing for Arsenal. Gabriel Magalhaes is going, it's my dream to play for Arsenal. Do me a favour, mate. Your dream is to play for Real Madrid or Barcelona, like every Brazilian. That's their dream. They've seen Pele. They've seen Maradona. They've seen Ronaldinho, Neymar. I could keep listing Brazilians that have played for them two clubs. He's saying it's his dream to play for Arsenal. And people go, oh, yes, what a player. Come on, man. It's not his dream. He weren't growing up in the slums and favelas in Brazil going, I want to play for Arsenal. He was sitting there watching Romario and R9. Yeah? Come on. Do me a favour.
Listen, I hear you. Mate, I hear you, and this contract situation worries me because it needs to be done, man. And Saka, Martinelli, and Saliba, all three of them need to sign, not one or two of them. And it was funny because I saw the other day, you know, on the Sky Sports News, the yellow bar does that, doesn't it? I saw it say signs new Arsenal contracts, and I went, "Come on, who is it?" And I thought it's going to be one of them three. Surely it'll be Saka or it'll be Saliba. And look, I don't mind Gabriel. I know you're hating on him. I know you don't like him, but I actually do like Gabriel, right?
And I looked at him, but he ain't progressed in 2 years.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm not going into that again because I do hear what you're saying in terms of the mistakes. But I look at it and it just deflated me a bit. Maybe that's harsh, man, because I do like him. And it's great that he wants to spear the club, blah blah blah. But you're right. Saliba worries me. The other two, I don't think they will. I think they will sign. Sorry, I think Martinelli has got an option to sign anyway after 2024. He's already got an option. I think he'll extend that unless he wants to sign, which I think he probably will. And Saka, I think, will sign. Saliba's the one. I think I really do. I worry about that one because PSG are already sniffing around, and apparently Real Madrid, like you say, are with Saliba from what I heard, not Martinelli. So I think the other two will probably sign. Saliba's the one that worries me because I don't know how happy he is at the club because obviously he's had. The first season, he's had 11 games in an Arsenal shirt, whereas the others have had a couple of years. So we do need to get that one.
With PSG as well, they've only got 4 centre-backs down. One's 17, one's 37, and the other two are pretty average. Marquinhos is not bad, actually, but Kimpembe's all right, but he ain't great, is he? So they do need a centre-back, and they've got the dough. And if somebody dangles you can play with Messi and Neymar and Mbappe, and here's 300 million grand a week, like, you're going, innit? Like, come on.
Yeah, man. Listen, I can't say I'm not with you. Let's do these super chats, man. This one's not even read these. Smoky settings. Smoky Lee, when you're next with your girl, what is this? I'm not reading that out. If that is that a laugh or is that
with your girl?
What's that say?
Vibes Cartel. Try that a spin, mate. I guarantee she'll love it. It's a song. It's Vibes Cartel's a Jamaican rapper, man, or singer.
Ah, okay, calm.
Yeah.
I was worried then. I thought, what have I clicked on? What have I read? I saw your girl getting it. You know, you're worried. Yeah, I should read super chats before I put them up. That's awesome.
Big up
Fair
Smokey
one.
settings, man.
Big up Smokey, man. Big up Smokey. I wanted to end on this one because this one is an interesting one for me. Chaitanya. Big up Chaitanya, man.
Yeah,
Love
man.
Chaitanya.
I'm going to grab a beer. I can't still hear you, Dan.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Chaitanya's saying, guys, your thoughts on Newcastle? They're looking solid. Only one loss away at Anfield. Both home and away will be tough, and they will invest in January. I know we touched on this, and I touched on it, should I say. They worry me, man. I'm not talking about that. I'm being worried about, them winning a league or finishing above Arsenal, but I am genuinely concerned about where they're going and how quickly. And the reasons why is because they've got one game a week. They're in a position where Arsenal were last season, one game a week, no Europe, right? They've got a lot of money to spend and they can spend it if they want to. They ain't gone massive yet, Lee, and they're playing well. Like Newcastle have not gone as big as I thought they were going to do, right? I thought they were just going to go start doing mad thing. Like, here we go. So far, they've brought sensible signings for me, like Kieran Trippier, Alexander Isak, I think is a sensible signing. Bruno Moraes is a really good signing. Players that are in the Premier League as well, like Dan Burn, etc. They've done all really well.
Wood.
Sven Botman, Chris Wood.
Yeah, decent second striker coming off the bench.
Yeah, like Botman is a wicked player, by the way, as well. He looks a wicked centre-back. So I'm looking at Newcastle thinking, wow. But I wanted to touch on this, not just about Newcastle, but your thoughts on the teams around them, because you've mentioned United playing well. They're actually playing well, United, under Ten Hag. Chelsea got Potter now. Not quite worked in certain games, but they conceded the first goal the other day in 6.
They're still not lost under him, though. They're unbeaten.
Still not lost. Yeah, still not lost. Man City are just mad. Tottenham are apparently a shambles, and it's funny. Yeah, it is funny they're losing. They ain't that far behind us, by the way. So you look at things. Where are you at the moment? I would Liverpool as well, by the way, who we can laugh at the moment because they're just embarrassing.
I love it. And the thing is, I don't even dislike Liverpool, but their fans are absolutely...
Me neither. Their fans are nuts, mate. So where do you stand at the moment? Like, who's looking good for you? Where do you think this top 4 race is leading? I know it's early days, man.
Well, Newcastle finished, 11th last season, and they're currently 4th. How is it possible that they can go from 11th to 4th when we can't go 5th to 1st?
Hey, I like that.
Hey. I like that. But no, they won't finish 4th and we won't finish 1st. But all jokes aside, he's got Almiron playing out of his skin. Like, literally out of his skin. Mate, his goal against Tottenham was quality. What a finish. His goal the other week was contender for goal of the month. Wicked. Oh, mate, that was a mad goal. Maybe even goal of the season so far. Brilliant finish. Yeah.
Tielemans were big up Tielemans, by the way. That goal yesterday was sick.
Oh,
see that goal? What a hit.
But yeah, Newcastle, they've got the best defense in the league. They've only lost 1. And the thing is, he's made them so hard to beat. Yeah, they've drawn 6 games, though. And that's the problem with them. They need to turn them draws into wins. Yeah, because you're better off losing instead of drawing. Yeah, because if you lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, you're going to end up with more points than draw, win, loss, draw, win. You're better off losing and losing half your games and winning half your games, than any draws, because the draws are just pointless. You get more points overall over the season without draws. But I think they're going to get in Europe. I don't know what competition. If I was to put money on it, I'd probably say conference, maybe Europa League. Because I expect Liverpool to come back up. Yeah, they can't be that crap all season.
I do.
So I think that they will be good enough at some point to get.
Do you know what, though? That Judges made a good point last night. He said, like, you can't pick this top 4 yet. It's too early, which is a fair comment to make, right? But I also agreed with this. He said, if you was to say not who's going to finish top 4, who's playing the best football at the moment, which 4 teams, he mentioned Arsenal and Man City, of course, but he mentioned Newcastle and Man United, and I actually agreed with that. I actually do. I think Ten Hag is really actually starting to look at what he's about at Man United. Eddie Howe deserves a hell of a lot of credit, by the way, what he's doing at Newcastle, and Arsenal and Manchester City. And with Newcastle, what Eddie Howe's done, right, is massively improved Joe Linton and new position, by the way, and Almiron, like you've said, and brought in players that I didn't think were that amazing, like Dan Burn, Target. They were all right, but they weren't like as good as he's making them out to be. Fabian Schär was always our half decent centre back. He looks wicked next to Sven Botman. So he's making players look great. Callum Wilson, I've always loved, by the way, and I've always said that if he stayed fit,
Wilson, he's a good player.
He would have been England striker, but easily, right? So fair play. But I'm looking at Newcastle thinking you could be in and around this European places by easily this season. Man United are picking up form. Chelsea, I personally feel like Potter will get it right. I do. I like
Yes,
Potter a lot. So that's going to
not
be
just
hard.
because I look like him, but
Yeah, and you look like him, so it makes it even better than that. I'm joking. But I think with Man City, I think we all know are going to be definitely up there for the title. After that, mate, I wouldn't want to pick it, I think it's
the thing
very,
is
very
with
difficult.
Tottenham, they've lost 3 games this season. They've lost their last 2. And I was on with Henry Wright last night and a load of Tottenham lads on that channel. And I was like, why are you all sitting there moaning? They were going nuts. I was like, out of the 3 games you've lost, you're expected to lose to 2 of them. You never beat us at the Emirates. And why do you expect to beat Man United? So the two of their 3 games, the only team they shouldn't have lost to is Newcastle. That's the only team out of the 3 losses that they've had where they shouldn't have lost.
Fair.
Yeah. So their fans are losing their shit about Conte's football and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, but what you got to understand is he's not got his players. He's going to want a 39-year-old Victor Moses at right wing back at some point, and you're going to have to give it to him. And if you don't give it to him, he's leaving, mate. He left the champions of Italy because they didn't want to give him money and they wanted to sell the best players. Don't think he ain't leaving Tottenham if he don't get what he wants, because he'll just say, see ya. Yeah, and I think he's not got long left anyway. But the thing with them is they're quite efficient, Tottenham. They don't leak many goals. They've only conceded 3 more than us, albeit they've played a game more than us. But they've scored 2 less than us. And that's the problem with them. If they want to get up there in terms of title, they need to score a lot more goals.
Their fans are hilarious, by the way. Tottenham fans, like they're all crying now. They want Poch back. It's absolutely hilarious. I saw on Twitter
That's what I was
the other
saying
day.
to him last night, Dan. I was like, you need to understand as a fan base what you want. Like you've had Mourinho come in to get you to trophies, and then you sack him 5 days before you get to the final. Like, make any sense to me? You wanted him to come in to win you a trophy. He gets you to a final, and if there's anyone on the planet you want in a final against City on the opposition management bench, it's him, because he'll just stink the gaff out and win it 1-0. Yeah, but they sacks him, and then lo and behold, he goes to Roma and wins the Europa League. Like, you couldn't make it up.
You imagine if Conte goes as well. Imagine having Mourinho and Conte both leave without winning anything.
This is what I was saying to him last night, Dan. I'm like, where'd you go from there? Where'd you go? You've had Conte, you've had Nuno. Okay, Nuno got potted. You bought Conte, and Conte's steadied it a bit, yeah, turned it around a lot. But you've had 2 of the best managers in our lifetimes, yeah, go into that club. And one of them you potted 5 days before a cup final, and the other one could potentially walk out if you don't get what he wants. Where'd you go from there? Who's your next manager? What do you do? Like, where do you think you should be this season? I said to them last night, and they all said top 4. I said, well, you're 3rd. Why are you moaning? You're 3rd. If you don't finish 3rd or you don't finish 4th, yeah, and they were saying, yeah, but we should be playing better football. I said, let me ask you a question. I said, if you end up winning the League Cup this season, and you play 1-0 boring shit football, yeah, when you go to Wembley and see your team lift the trophy, will anyone give a shit? He went, no. There you go then. We see it with George Graham. Atleti fans have seen it with Atletico. Ask any Atleti fan what they think about Simeone. He's fucking God out here, mate. Yeah, because he's got them competing with the big boys every year, apart from this year. But Tottenham will be there. I think Tottenham will get 4th. Yeah, I do think they'll finish in the top 4.
Yeah, I do. Listen, I'm not changing too much yet because it's 11 games in. So, I said that before a ball was kicked, I said that we'd miss out. When a ball started to be kicked and I saw how poor Liverpool were, the drop-off from Chelsea, Tuchel getting sacked, I said Arsenal will sneak top 4 this season. And I still stayed by that. I think Arsenal and Spurs will both get top 4.
If I'm honest, I think our squad ain't good enough.
You think?
Yeah, when I look at Man United's bench, like they've got Malacia on the bench. Yeah, they've got who's the centre back? Not Maguire, the other one.
Lindelof.
They've got him on the bench. They've got Ronnie on the bench. They've got Martial coming back from injury soon. They could have Rashford on the bench one week. They've still got Donny van der Beek there somewhere. I don't know if he's still alive, but they've got better
what's happened to him?
First team players or better bench players that could potentially squeeze first team games on a regular at their club. What have we got? Reece Nelson, Cedric, Holding, Marquinhos. Yeah, when you look at Tottenham have got Richarlison can sit on the bench if Kulusevski's playing, because Kulusevski is miles better than Richarlison. That front 3 with Richarlison in it don't work. If Kulusevski's there, it's a lot more
He's
fluid.
been a massive loss, by the way. I think he's quality, Kulusevski.
He's class.
So let me ask you this then, just quickly before we wrap up. Who, in your opinion then, who do you think will come 5th and 6th, Arsenal and Liverpool?
Arsenal and United.
You think Liverpool will
Oh,
sneak fourth?
sorry. I'm lying. Sorry, I'm lying. Arsenal and Liverpool. I
There you
think
go. I thought you meant. Yeah, that's what I
I've
thought you
swapped
meant.
Man United into the top four for Liverpool. I thought at the start of the season, I thought it'd be City, Liverpool. Obviously, the season's not started like that. Liverpool are currently a million miles behind anyone. They're 10 points behind Man City, who I think will win the league. They're 12 behind us. 12 behind us. But Dan, like I said, 2 wins, 2 losses either way, and all of a sudden it's 6 points. That's now catchable again, isn't it? So there's a long way, man. We're about nearly a third of the way through the season? Just under a third of the way through the season. Yeah, and there's a lot of football to be played. And I think at the start of the season, I said Liverpool finish second. They'll definitely get top 4. No, I'll change shit. Man United will definitely get top 4. Liverpool will finish 6th. Yeah, because I've seen enough.
Listen, I've seen enough.
Out and enough.
I was going to say, I've seen enough
to
to know Liverpool are going to struggle, man, to get Champions League. The way they're playing, it is looking so poor. And
but then saying that, Dan, they had this before. They lost 6 straight home games in lockdown. First time in their history. They were playing centre mids at centre back. They had no players at all, no defenders at all, and they're still at top 4. Yeah, but it's a different Liverpool this season. They've got a donkey up front. They've not got Mane and Salah. Well, they should have signed Welbeck.
Love that, man. We need to end it there, man. Listen, absolute pleasure having you on, man. Make sure you smash the like, make sure you smash the subscribe button, and also go and do the same thing over at Lee Gunner, man, who's absolutely smashing it. Thank you all so much. Big yourselves up in the chat for coming back. You lot are absolutely mad. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the super chats. We will see you next time, and until then, up the Arsenal. Take care, guys. Love that.